Hi everyone and welcome to my election reading vlog. I originally filmed this expecting it to be one full vlog, including my previous vlog where I filmed the days leading up to the election. But this turned out to be such a long vlog and I had so much to say during the actual election section that I chose to make it independent. And I hope you enjoy the ride. As we know, it was a hell of a ride, but now it's mostly done for the most part. But come with me as we go on an adventure. Hey, it's like 4, almost 5 o'clock. I have yet to update you. Apologies. First I got up, I did more phone calling, then I had a couple things to deal with school, and then I finished editing my November TBR, which is exciting. Yeah, and that's my current update. I have not finished the Trump book yet, but that was like 15 minutes left when I went to bed. So almost done, and then I'll start the book after Trump, as in the E-arc, the one that I should have already started. And we'll see how far I get in it. Yeah, okay, let's go. Also, you know, what I want to do, I actually kind of want to go for a bike ride. Look how nice it is. It's a beautiful day. Hello, my name is Joshua. What is this viewing point like? How does this sound like? So I finished Married Trumps, Too Much Never Enough. This is going to get a solid 3 stars. It did not reveal anything new. I think a good description of that fact was made by Roxane Gay in her review, which you can find on Goodreads. It's essentially just that, stuff we already know. A lot of the book is her discussion of her father and his relationship to her grandfather. It's a lot less about Trump. However, she makes a lot of inferences about Trump from her father's relationship with her grandfather and her grandfather's overall, mindset. Now, I recognize behavioral psychology is a real science, but it is undeniable that the things she says to us, the assessments she makes of Trump, they have no real evidence behind them. The evidence of which she uses, she doesn't present formal evidence. What she does is she makes assessments based off of stuff we already know about Trump. And honestly, her conclusions are things that I agree with. They're things that sound reasonable, but fundamentally, it's not scientific. And I do think there's a bit of a misconception, or rather a misrepresentation going on here, presenting it like a scientific diagnosis by her cousin, or maybe simultaneously a tell-all. And it's really not quite either. It's kind of a mix of both, but never enough. It's like too little and never enough. It's about what I expected, honestly, about a book that is I don't want to say it's for attention. I honestly do think she's trying to make a difference here. I don't know how big of a difference it's actually going to make. I was mildly intrigued. If you sound mildly intrigued, maybe you'll like it. But is it anything special? I don't think so. The writing was fine. I am glad I got it out of the way, though. This was a good time to motivate myself to do that. I now started after Trump reconstructing the presidency. And this, I'm not sure how I portrayed this, but it seems to be much less focused on necessarily the damage Trump has caused, so much as using Trump as a way to strengthen the presidency. Think of it like Trump is a hacker that we're hiring to make sure our company's security system is up to date, or rather we want to use him to reveal all the problems with our security system. And once we have him, we use him as an example to help guide us to improve that. And I think that is a really interesting way of looking at it, mostly because it's not really centered around Trump. Sure, Trump is the facilitator here, but it's not a retaliation to Trump. This is being written by 2 different people. They are people who were in the White House for Bush, the second Bush, and for Obama. So they're 2 politically different opposing views who are coming together to have this conversation, because it's not about, hey, we have to fix Trump. We have to fix what damage Trump has done. It's about making an assessment of the norms that he broke, the laws that he might have broke, and ask ourselves, what can we do to fix that? And it's not just about how we have to pass this new law to make this better. It's a question of what effect would any type of law do? If we pass a law saying presidents have to show their taxes, we need to stop and consider what will the implication be further down the line. It's easy to say, sure, we want that against Trump, but there may be more complicated situations or scenarios on the line that we aren't able to foresee without seriously thinking about it. And a big part of this problem is that we are obviously biased. We want more control on Trump. They wanted more control over Obama. We being Democrats. I assume if you're watching, you're a Democrat. If you're not, well, I'm missing my point. My point is that our bias will skew what we consider appropriate. And I think this book is meant to be a realistic and unbiased analysis of what we can do to improve the presidency. Now, it does seem like they might talk about legislation and judicial assessment, but I'm not sure how far out that's going to go, because personally, this conversation that's being had in this book, I think needs to be had about the judicial system and the legislature system as well. But like, let's think about the conversation about stuffing the courts and how there's a lot of pushback against that from some Democrats as well as basically all the Republicans, because they say it'll mess up the integrity of the court and it'll politicize it. But there's also an argument to be had that the actions, the breaking of norms that's been done by the Republicans, granted, partially in retaliation to some breaking of norms by the Democrats, has only further politicized and damaged the courts. And the effect of what we have of McConnell's actions is that we have Trump having far more appointments on the Supreme Court and the lower judicial system than I think any other president in their first term. I think he has as much as, if not more, judges appointed than Obama in his entire 8 years. And that largely has to do with the fact that McConnell held off appointing or passing any type of judge, appointing any judge during Obama's term, not just in the last year. And these kind of things aren't illegal. It's entirely within his right, but it does start to break norms and degrade the integrity of the system. And whether or not it's too late to fix that, whether or not it's justified to go further, is a conversation to be had. I'm liberal, I'm biased, I think it's worth it, but at the very least, we need laws in place to fix that. We need firmer rules that aren't just norms that can be broken. And that's not just true for Trump, but also for that. I don't know how deep they're going to go in that conversation. I hope they do. We will see. What I will say is that I am liking this, but if you do not have an appreciation or desire to seriously learn about policy, I don't think that you'll like this book. I've only just started it. I'm 12% in it, and I have 8 hours left based off the speed it's going right now. They start by they're going to different areas of Trump and the effects he has, the things he does. And they start off with some background and the previous breaking of norms, like by Nixon, and the actions that are taken to fix that, or actions that previous presidents have done before they're being broken. Basically, things that have led to this type of analysis in the past, and how we get to where we are now, and why things aren't different, and then how do we make them different to make an appropriate solution. And then they provide that solution in a way that is, I think, intended to be pretty what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Professional? Like a serious outline. Like, I'm looking here, and the breakdown looks like I'm looking at a piece of like a literal legal document that you would see being passed by the legislature, and that is dense. And I'm not sure I'll attain everything, but I think I'm okay with that, because I feel engaged enough with the overall conversation. And all I can say is that so far I think it does seem like an unbiased look and a serious look at this type of conversation we need to have on whether or not the structure of the current presidency is sound and needs to be fixed. I think if that's a conversation that sounds interesting to you, highly recommend this book so far. I think I already said, again, I like it because it seems like a more serious take than this. This feels like nothing new, like just a biased perspective that is telling me exactly what I want to hear. This book sounds like a more serious look that isn't about Trump, but about the system, right? And I think that's what a lot of us, that's what I want to learn about, because there are 1,000 different books that are about Trump and from a biased perspective, and it's going to tell me the same damn thing. I want something substantive, and that's what I'm liking about this book so far. Where are we with the election? That's a good question. I've managed to keep myself distracted. It's after 6, so I don't know when we start getting results. I should go. I will catch you later. Probably fairly soon, honestly. Things are going to get serious in a bit. I'm probably going to start watching PBS NewsHour for continuous updates for the next 6 hours or more. It looks like it has begun. It is just after 7 p.m. and they've already called Kentucky and Vermont. I understand why. I'm sure they're both very much givens in the likely category. If you don't know, NPR polls from the AP, and well, let's see what happens. So far, Trump is winning, which honestly doesn't mean much. I'm not that concerned. So it is after 7:45. Hasn't been that long. I promise I won't update you this frequently, but I got my setup. So I'm watching PBS NewsHour with the updates from
And now we
NPR.
return to our
But we'll update you if anything changes and I have a reaction. Obviously, you'll know everything at the time this goes up. But we'll see. My friends are on the other computer, and I think they're a couple of them at least. One of them at least is a little too eager. I don't really know enough. Okay, it's way too early to call shit, and I don't like people trying to make assessments. It bothers me because it gets my hopes up or distorts my view. I don't want that. Okay, so Florida is at 85%, and Trump has a slight lead. It's maybe just over 1%, and while that is negligible, there's a trend happening where Biden was ahead by maybe just slightly over 1%, and now it's slowly going towards Trump, little by little. And I'm no expert. All I know is I remember this happening last time with Hillary, and how we saw it getting more and more towards Trump as the night went on, and that was a really bad indicator. Now, my understanding this time, that it shouldn't matter, that we have a good chance of knowing Florida tonight. And if Biden wins, that would be a more definitive victory. Otherwise, it might be a lot longer before we get the answer, because then we'll need the answer from other very close states. Why am I saying this? Just because I want to see how well my predictions pan out here. Okay, it's almost 9:30. Right now, not much to update except for the fact that Florida is still going towards Trump. It's not voting well. It seems to be that Biden is underperforming in ways that Hillary did, which really goes against what the polling suggested. We'll see where that goes. It's not voting well. Same with the Senate. First impressions seem to be that the Senate is not looking that bad for Republicans, which is extra depressing. It's after 10, still waiting, but Georgia, Florida, Ohio, Texas, North Carolina, all leaning to Trump. They're saying right now that Atlanta is delayed in reporting some, which is true. So that's probably why the deficit is much higher. But still, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I'm beginning to get resigned, like I did with the Clinton one. I know it's too soon, but fuck. 4 more years.
Sip, I know you are based in California looking at this election across the country. What does it look like to you at this hour? We are still...
It looks like that the hopes of the Democrats for a glorious evening of massive victory has got to be filed away.
Okay, it's after 12. Still haven't found anything new. I guess it seems pretty well understood that this isn't going to be decided tonight. Well, it's already tomorrow, but it's going to take a while. I said that North Carolina, the ballots, like the absentee ballots, can arrive up to the 12th. It seems to me that's probably not going to be the decider of the election, though. If anything, it might be a decider of the Senate. But Florida seems like it's probably going to go with Trump. But apparently it's Michigan and Pennsylvania that's of concern right now. Arizona was called by Fox News, and then Trump got pissed. You probably already know this, but I'm gagging at that. Because, of course, Trump needs that narrative. He needs his narrative. He's going to try and call voter fraud if, in fact, a late call ends up taking these states that he needs over back to Biden. These are states like Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania. Probably most likely Michigan and Pennsylvania are our best bets here. Those are what Biden need, obviously. I'm sure y'all know this, but I like talking about it. And the absentee ballots that we have to wait on, right? Right now they have a solid red bias. It's too close to tell. I guess I can feel a bit better because I think I was a little disillusioned. I was hoping things wouldn't go this direction because there's so much volatility right now. And what's worse is that even if Biden wins in this scenario, the potential for manipulation in the courts or by Trump using his rhetoric to manipulate the process is what is terrifying, because that introduces even more volatility and so much more uncertainty. And what's worse, it really introduces a serious lack of faith, on my part at least, for the institutions.
Now over 50% of the vote is in. Donald Trump does have a healthy margin here, but they just can't get through all of these votes tonight. They are going to be counting around the clock.
This was a state Joe Biden put a lot of effort into.
So it's almost 1. Biden just made his message, which is somewhat comforting, sort of reaffirming the idea that we got to count the votes. There's still a clear path to victory. And unfortunately, this seems to be the most likely scenario always. It was also the most nerve-wracking one because of Trump's tweet, which if I remember, I'll try to insert here. I'm sure we've all heard about it by now, but this is what we've been waiting for, right? Him to pretend like counting votes after things close. So we'll see how things move forward. Hopefully it'll be clear-cut finish. No one's gonna listen to that bullshit. If not, you can come along with me and relive the entire experience as I continue to read. Because up to today, I'm gonna start reading again. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna sit here. Probably until PBS stops. But I technically have a meeting tomorrow, like at 10 a.m. and I need to actually do something to prepare for that.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
He said it. He fucking said it. He's claiming he won the election.
Our goal now is to ensure the integrity for the good of this nation. This is a very big moment. This is a major fraud in our nation.
He's literally describing himself right now.
So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop. We don't want them to find any ballots.
Okay, it's 3:20 and bad. I'm really tired. My mic isn't working. I don't know how much I missed. My phone mic sucks. Hope most of my footage is usable. Things about as good as I look, right? I really hope things will have come out better by the time this is over with, right? Okay, so it's 9:45. I woke up and, sorry, I have headphones on for my meeting, so hopefully I won't hear it. But things have shifted as I expected, so that's definitely hopeful. It makes me feel better. The fact that Michigan, Wisconsin have all started counting their votes and they've all significantly shifted. And Michigan and Georgia still haven't counted anymore, and so it's still a strong indicator that one of those could flip. But they say if he wins Nevada and Wisconsin and Michigan, that's all he should need. Biden, that is. Long story short, it's rhetoric that once you start counting absentee ballots, Biden will probably win, seems to be adding up, which, it's one thing to say that, another thing to see that, so it's starting to feel good. I have to get to a meeting, and I'll update you later. And again, sorry about my audio, my phone's being dumb. Hello, so I am downtown. I had a burrito. I did a trip to school that I was trying to get a replacement for my mic. It's an adapter I need for USB-C to the aux cable. They didn't have it. I'm hoping to find something downtown, but I just have a burrito. They're really nice weather. I'm talking like 60s. It's snowed the other day, so it's very uncommon. I guess you want an update on the election, don't you? So far, not much has changed. I'm pretty sure Michigan, Wisconsin is still trending blue. I know Georgia, last I checked, was looking within 100,000, which I guess is good. And I'd love to see Georgia go blue. I don't think it's necessarily, but it would definitely be a comfort. But I guess it's time to move on from the primary election coverage of this vlog and start just moving on while I await the results and finish the books. So 20% I think should be after Trump. I am still enjoying it, but Jesus, it's dense. It's really dense, and I don't see myself retaining everything. Policy, like I said before, policy, the topics being discussed. Like if that's what you're looking for, this is a great discussion. I wouldn't say I'm not looking for that. I just think that I'm not necessarily adept at participating in that conversation very well. It's just been confirmed that Biden won Michigan, which is good, and it was already leaning that way. And it's finally like solidified. Nevada is the last one we need, although of course I'd love to see North Carolina and Georgia. I know this is a pipe dream, but right now it seems like every state that goes blue or goes red, the Senate goes the same way. And so of course we saw North Carolina and Georgia do that. What a dream. I mean, Georgia isn't going to go either way this election, probably. There's a good chance that the Ossoff election might be decided not for Ossoff. Ideally, they'd both go off to runoff, but I honestly don't see them winning in the long term. I don't have much faith in Georgia. I'm going blue down the ticket, especially if Biden wins. But who knows? I would definitely fight for it. My family will play some video games, and I wasn't going to update you again, but then that happened. If we're really lucky, it'll just be decided tonight, and Nevada will have won. It's a good thing I did the phone call, the canvassing, whatever the fuck you call it, in Georgia, considering how close it is. Good morning. It's the 5th now. It's the 5th. Still not decided. I'm sure y'all know that by now. Georgia is so close. 49.6 and 49.2. We're within 20,000 votes, but it's still 99% in, so it's looking not very possible. The AP hasn't called it yet. Nevada is ahead, but what's really frustrating here is when I look at the Georgia breakdown of the Senate, Perdue versus Ossoff. They legally, one of them has to get 50% or higher, and Perdue is at literally 50.0%. The difference is 100 and maybe 15,000 votes. And damn it, 98% of the vote in says for the Senate. And damn it, I'd love there to be a runoff. I mean, I don't expect him to win a runoff, but you know, we can always hope, right? I did hear an interesting thing. I think I've heard it before though, that like these idea for in Georgia for the runoff, like hit the 50%. I think there's something about that being set up after the Voting Rights Act. Basically, they didn't want a minority to win, so they made it so you have to have a runoff, so that you have to get 50%. Long story short, I don't have much faith in Georgia's Senate. I would love to see it flip though, but it seems to be like there's a trend. No state that goes one way has a Senate that goes the other way. But if there is a state that's going to do that, it looks like Georgia is the state to do that. Texas, Florida, Ohio, stupid states. There's anything else to say here, right? I just need to go about my day. I need to get a flu shot. It's 11. I may have been playing some video games while I listen to audiobook. Actually, yeah, let's talk about that. I have been reading After Trump, and I am 80%. Wow, I'm 80% through that book, and I have I have an hour and a half left on the Kindle, it says. And according to my research, it is good. It is, like I said, still dense. I don't have much more to add besides my initial commentary. I do feel like it's a pretty good breakdown of history, give historical context to what Trump does in a pretty non-biased way, and then give just a flat-out solution that I think would be the best way to approach this. And sometimes that means little to no change, because obviously there's a limit to, you don't want to undermine the future presidents by trying to limit Trump. You have to find the right balance, and it's all part of the conversation. I am weighing or sort of leaning between 3.5 and 4 stars right now. I haven't decided yet, just because it's so dense. I know I'm not retaining everything. It's fairly engaging, I think, as someone who's interested in politics. I think the biggest problem is really just that I'm getting overwhelmed, and I kind of want to take a break. But I'm not taking a break. I haven't taken a break yet, just because I kind of want to get it done at the same time. So maybe the book me not loving the book is more my own fault for not pacing myself. But I am still on track. October, you probably won't see by the time this goes up, hopefully, but I did not read that many books last month compared to other months. This month's going a lot better. We're on like day 5, and I'm almost done with my 3rd book, and that's a good sign, I suppose. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna go about my day now, and I'll let you know if anything changes. I need to go grocery shopping. I need bananas. I finished after Trump. My feelings are the same. I'm going to stick with 4 stars. I did sort of lose myself in my attention span, towards the end there. But I think I'm going to give it the full 4 stars because it definitely achieved what it's trying to do, I think, in a pretty effective way. I wish it was on audio because I would totally read it again. I'd love to own it just because I think being able to look at the contents page and references, like be able to just refer to different things specifically, that would be more useful than me trying to reference something specifically just off of one read through. The game started. It actually was an hour less than I thought it would be. There was an hour's worth of notes in that ebook, and I was shocked. I was shocked, honey. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. So I did start Hamilton today. By the way, it's 5th. I haven't really shown you anything since school. I know I haven't really vlogged much. I should have went for a bike ride outside of just going to school for my flu shot, and I did not do that. Oh shit, I'm losing my connection. This right here, me obsessing over this, even while listening to audiobooks, is not healthy. I need to get outside while it's still, warm enough. Anyways, this one is being surprisingly enjoyable. I wasn't sure how much I was going to like this, but I find the story to be very entertaining. As someone who loves Hamilton, it's short, and I feel like we're going through things pretty fast. I'm already halfway, but it is basically just an outline of how things got made with some backstory on how we get certain people. It does feel a little convoluted in the sense that they wanted to sell something, so they tried to put something together. It doesn't feel like a detailed biography of the making of Hamilton in a way that I think they could do if they actually wanted to invest in doing that type of scenario. Does that make sense? I feel like they did just the bare minimum to be able to get by, which maybe is unfair, but it does fit well with the lyrics and the pictures to make this big book. Like, I understand not wanting to do that. You want people to be more likely to buy this, if only just to look at it and have the lyrics to go off of. I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish this tonight. It's 9:30. Oh, the election. I don't know if y'all care, but Georgia, beautiful Georgia, is trying. She's trying so hard.
I'm trying. I'm fucking trying. I've only been doing this for 2 fucking days. Like shit.
We're down to 2,500 vote margin, 8,000 margin, and we had 45,000 the absentee ballots left in Atlanta of all places, or at least Metro Atlanta. So that boded and still bodes very well for Georgia. I don't know when it's going to stop, but we're getting ever closer to Biden taking Georgia. It makes me really excited as a Georgian, and of course it's the fact that this solidifies Biden's win. We don't have to worry about stupid Nevada anymore.
I am the one thing in life I can control. I am inimitable, I am an original.
I made a couple TikToks. People had a lot of TikToks on TikTok about Nevada taking slow time, and I thought, no, Georgia is much more apt here. Georgia is the one who hasn't always been blue. Georgia is the one that is actually counting. Nevada's just doing, I don't know what. The state's so small, like how could it take them so long? Now, if the election continues, I will continue this. I'm hoping tomorrow things will end and we can end it. But I'm debating what I want to do next because I wasn't planning on reading this in this vlog, but I might do that. Alternatively, there is a e-arc I just got granted, which is also on audio. It's about Carter versus Kennedy, and I'm not quite sure what the conversation is, but since I got it, I feel like it would fit here since we're talking about the presidency. And also, I don't know, I'm just in the mood. I've already read one book that wasn't planning on it, so why not this one too? I really want to do some work tomorrow for school. I haven't worked because I let myself, I decided to take a few days for the election, but I don't want to keep doing that. I need to start working at least tomorrow because I have a virtual conference or workshop, whatever, to attend next week, and I won't have much time to work then. But things are looking good. And make for a dramatic vlog if things go for the worst, but it'll be terrible for the country. And I say this hopefully not too nonchalantly. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Things are good. I had another burrito today. It was delicious. I went grocery shopping. Hence all the bananas. Bananas are cheap, they're delicious, and they keep me from buying sweets. I mean, if you're still here this far into this election vlog with I don't know how much commentary I added during the main election, I appreciate you watching. I hope you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying filming it. I really love vlogging because it motivates me to read. It motivates me to do something. Good morning. Good morning. It is the 6th of November. Georgia is officially blue for now. I'm happy to see it's partially blue for now at least, but I'm not confident that's going to stay that way. I'm going to start working now. I'm very tired. Oh, before I do that though, Camelot's End. I did start that. I'm really enjoying it, and it's basically the narrative of the rivalry between Ted Kennedy and Jimmy Carter in Jimmy Carter's re-election campaign, which he was challenged in I think the primaries by Ted Kennedy. I don't know if I knew that happened. If I did, I didn't realize, never really thought about it. And these kind of rivalries, I feel like, are the most exciting things in politics. So I'm really enjoying this because it's starting out, so it gives a brief introduction, like their whole setup, but then it starts giving us like a brief biography of their lives leading up to this. And so far, I definitely think Jimmy Carter is a better person than Ted Kennedy. I feel like I've heard this before, like he killed a woman and then left the scene, didn't go to jail, didn't lose his tenancy. Like can't wait to see how this shit translates to him almost winning the Democratic nomination against the sitting president. I have more I want to say here, but I do have to go. But it's really fascinating so far. But so far, positive feelings about this book, Camelot's End. Solid book so far, really fascinating. I think it really fits well in this election mindset, since elections are all about rivalries, right? Pennsylvania just turned blue. I mean, Biden's lead is by 0.1%. We're looking at, oh my God, the beauty of it. We're looking at a 6,000 vote lead, which I know, respectively, isn't that much, but it warms my heart. Friday is over. I just got my October wrap-up published, which I feel like is pretty good timing compared to last month. Not much has changed along the election. I'm beginning to wonder if it's worth continuing this vlog. I'm hoping we'll get a conclusion tomorrow by one of these dates. I am still reading Camelot's End. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. I'm nearly done with that. That's a really good book, honestly. I'm debating on how good it is because it's leaving me wanting more. I have a feeling I'm going to be leaving the book wanting to learn more about their lives. But I don't know if that's a problem with the book or a benefit of the book, because the book is getting me excited about our subject matter and encouraging me to read more, which is a good thing, I think. This story has really reshaped how I see Jimmy Carter and Ted Kennedy. I should know his name. There are so many Kennedys. And this is how Kennedy challenged him during the primaries of Carter's second run for office. So, like, obviously people don't usually get challenged when they're the incumbent, and that was the big thing. Like, Carter was considered very incompetent, I guess, by his party, and I always thought, based off very little evidence, very little information rather, that Carter would get a bad rap. But this book makes me rethink that. And this book doesn't even get too heavily into his policy. It's much more broader look at Carter as his relation to Kennedy. But it's really making me rethink whether or not he really should have been president. Because I'm realizing, like, he got presidency because he was willing to do the Aaron Burr thing of talk less, smile more. Like, he has good ideals, fundamentally, or so it seems. But he definitely did not make those very clear when running for office, both in the governorship of Georgia and in the presidency, because he wanted to get the vote of both black supporters as well as white supremacists. And that's a very problematic approach. And then in office, he seemed to make a lot of mistakes. And I think there's an argument to be had that he did not have the proper background, the proper training for this. And I think it's an important thing to ask, because if we look at Trump and we can think about the level of incompetency there, and it's so blatantly obvious. But then that is true too for other people, like, say, Pete Buttigieg, and how all he was a mayor. And honestly, I fear that people like him, or people love this idea of this small-time, very enthusiastic candidate who is yet to really get proper training. And I think there's a good chance Pete Buttigieg will be in Biden's cabinet. But my point is that I think there's a conversation there to be had about who we elect and the competency and what we want from them, because I think Carter has done a good job, at least from my perspective, of reframing his presidency. All this said, this isn't necessarily about his presidency per se, more about how he's being viewed and some of the biggest mistakes he made. So I am curious to read a biography by his that I've been wanting to read, which is about his time in the White House. Now, what I really am debating is is if I want to read one of the Kennedy's biographies, because damn, like, he is very problematic in so many ways. I don't think he was a good he was the epitome of privilege, white male privilege. His entire desire to run, I mean, he seems to have principles that he was at least open about. I'll give him that. I don't necessarily trust that he's actually wanted, because there's so much entitlement with him, like with being a Kennedy, that seems to be showing off in this entire book. This was a situation. Kennedy drove a car off a cliff, left his girlfriend, or the woman he was in the car with. I'm not even quite sure if it was, because he's also a womanizer. He then left, and after the police found the body, he came back and explained what happened. And he got off. He didn't even lose his Senate seat. His excuses made no sense. There was just no reason whatsoever besides the fact that he is a Kennedy and a white male. And as it turns out, she actually survived for a short while from an air bubble in the back of the car. I don't know if I clarified, but it was like into a body of water that happened. And so if he had called for help, she would have been okay. And it's hard to escape that. But that's just one thing that I think is, like, it's weird to call that tip of the iceberg because it's pretty bad. But like, if the iceberg is the depth of his problems, like, that is the iceberg, because that's part of the iceberg that we see. And there's so much more with him that I just don't think he was a very good person, quite frankly. And I've also got a much different opinion of Carter, who is very much a politician. Like, he knew a lot of what he did was for his own gain. And I feel so stupid, because I can idolize politicians sometimes. It's still fascinating as someone who loves politics. And the whole race is fascinating. And I think it obviously has plenty to say about modern politics, especially when we think about, say, Clinton versus Bernie, and Bernie's failure to really support her as a candidate. And after he realized he wasn't going to win, like, he obviously did not do that again, this time with Biden, who incidentally happened to be a man, but also maybe because he realized what happened with Trump. And just my point is that these situations, history has a habit of repeating itself, right? Where Clinton may not have been an incumbent, but it was clear that she was the winner and that she was going to win. He didn't have a chance to win, but he didn't do a lot to help encourage that win. The results were similar in the sense that they both lost to a popular candidate. Ironically, Clinton lost Trump and Carter lost to Reagan, who was arguably a Trump, someone that wasn't taken seriously, someone who didn't have any experience, and then happened to get into office. Yeah, I'm very engaged. I'm very much liking this, but I'm gonna try and finish this tonight. Although I am kind of tired, I could go to sleep. The time is 11:35 on Saturday, November 7th. It's over. I'm pretty sure Pennsylvania was officially called blue by AP, which means it's done. We're finished. Biden won, thankfully. Obviously, it's the litigation to be had by Trump, and I will insert a picture here of the states that are decided. Basically, anything that's a solid color and not just light blue or light red has been decided. So I'm pretty sure it's Pennsylvania. Maybe it's North Nevada or Georgia. This is good. This is a great end. I'm playing zombies, and I actually haven't started my next book. I'm pretty sure I talked about how Camelot's end ended, right? I actually don't think I did. I ended up giving it, I want to say 4.5 stars, but I'm still not sure if that's where I want to land on it, because I'm torn, because it's more than just their rivalry, because it gives you context on their lives before the election and after the election. And I don't know if that's filler or if that's like necessary context to help us really appreciate the impact it had on their lives and their lives had on it. So I don't know. I say 4.5, but I really want to give it a 5. And I'm trying to think, is there really reason not to? Because I really did love that book. It was very immersive, very detailed, and it really reshaped how I see both of them as people. Not that I ever thought much about Kennedy beforehand anyways, but Carter in particular, like, I don't have as a high a view of him anymore, like as a person or as a politician. Because it's hard, really, when you have someone like him who tries really hard to reshape who he is as a person or how he's remembered, and how much of that is genuinely wanting to make a difference versus realizing, like say Jefferson, that you have a scarred legacy and you need to fix it. All in all, it was really good. I want to read more, so I take it back. I'm giving it 5 stars, solid 5 stars, and this is a good place to stop because I haven't started my next book and I'm kind of ready to close this out, and I want to take a break from politics and history So that's that. That was the election. What a roller coaster, am I right? Things can still change. Maybe I'll make an epilogue vlog, but I don't think things will change. Trump might try, but I think even he knows that he has no path to victory, not even a fraudulent one, based off of the way he talks and the way he's approaching this. It's great. I honestly love seeing him genuinely upset. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. But you know what? I'm only human. Thank you so much for watching this. I did enjoy this vlog, and I read a lot of great books, and some books that were so-so, but I think I made really good progress. I think I read 5 books in 6 days. What a great start to November. And it helped that I took some time off of school to focus on the election, focus on this. I loved doing it. I loved giving all of my attention to the election, which I know many people always think it's insane, like what the hell is wrong with me, but when I say I love politics, I mean it. I really love politics. And again, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have a great day. Until next time, stay safe, and I hope you voted. Next time you should vote. Make sure you register to vote, because it's never too late to vote next time.